We double moonwalk them in Brazil. Now we get to double moonwalk them and send them packing in Philly. Dallas still stinks. Yo, by the way, Dingbat here, and it is on. It is on. I am the babyface assassin, and we are about to double moonwalk the Green Bay Packers ass this weekend. What a matchup for the Eagles, and they are set up perfectly. I mean, perfectly to go to at least the NFC Championship game. I can't believe I'm saying this. The Eagles playoffs begin. This is going to be great. Now, of course, we know the Eagles beat the Giants yesterday in what was basically a preseason game. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. I liked what Tanner McKee did. I thought he looked good. And, I like Trotter. I thought Jordan Davis played well. They went out there, Jahan Dotson, and they did their thing. The Giants stink. The Giants are lousy. And the Giants are keeping their play. Can you believe they're keeping their coach and GM? What a bunch of losers. I absolutely love that the Giants are going to go do that. But the Eagles beat them. Unfortunately, Saquon Barkley does not get the record. However, he does win the rushing title, and we congratulate him. Hopefully, he's well rested and ready to go, and it's time to go into the playoffs and take on the Packers. Now, one thing that I want to talk about that just came up, and that was right before I was about to do this video, but the Saints apparently have requested an interview with offensive coach Kellen Moore for their head coaching vacancy. Now, it doesn't mean he's going to get it. Well, who the hell knows what's going to happen with that? My thoughts on Kellen Moore are, I'm kind of neutral. I'm kind of neutral. Like, I don't think he was necessarily bad. I don't think he was absolutely great or fantastic. I think he did his thing. He did his job. And whatever, we're 14-3. It's hard to complain. What I don't like and what I don't want to see with the Eagles, and we may have to go through this, is I just hate the fact that we could be possibly changing to another offensive coordinator again next year. It would be nice to give Jalen Hurts some consistency. That would be a very, very nice thing. And really, when we speak at Jalen Hurts, this is what this whole week is going to be questioned. Where's Jalen Hurts? When he's going to get out of concussion protocol. He did some things with the team, I believe, Saturday. He's still in concussion protocol right now. He's still in there. I can't imagine he's not going to be ready. And I think the Eagles know. And I think Nick Sirianni, if you look at his press conference, he doesn't look like he's too worried about it. I think Jalen will be ready to go this week. Now, is he going to be rusty? He hasn't played since that Washington game. Perhaps. But you know what? We've done it. We've dealt with this before. If you remember the year we went to the Super Bowl, he gets hurt. We have that Christmas Eve game versus Dallas. We end up losing. Then we have Minshew versus the Saints. And then he missed the game the following week. And I don't think he played. I think he missed like the last 3 weeks. He got hurt in the Chicago game. And then he missed a bunch of games until the playoffs. And then he came back and we were fine. We wound up destroying the Giants, destroying the 49ers, and going to the Super Bowl. So I think Jalen Hurts will be fine. I'm not too worried about it. But if he doesn't clear concussion protocol, let's say by Wednesday, if we don't hear something by Wednesday, I'm going to get a little nervous. I'm just saying. I'm going to get a little nervous. Now, for the Packers, who we're going to be playing, listen, it's not all good news for them. Jordan Love gets bangs up his elbow, says he should be fine, he's going to be able to play. We'll see how healthy he is. But they just lost a big time receiver in Christian Watson. Packers wide receiver Christian Watson believed to have torn ACL and will miss rest of the year. That's brutal. That's a brutal loss for the Packers. Now, they still got weapons. They still got Jacobs. They're still a dangerous team. But, if you would have asked me, seriously, if you would have asked me like 3 weeks ago, you would have said, yo, fat ass 500, what would you do Who would you rather play in the first round of the playoffs? The Washington Commanders or the Packers? I would say the Commanders any day of the week. And believe it or not, I would have loved to play the Commanders because I would love to give them a beating that they deserve. They deserve a fresh beating, and it would have been nice to give it to them. However, when you look at the Packers, what the hell is that noise? There's some big, ugly truck backing up. Anyways, when you look at the Packers, though, going into this round of the playoffs, they're struggling. They've lost 2 in a row. They're banged up. They're not playing good defense. And I think they're the perfect team at the perfect time for the Eagles. Now, what's interesting is if the Eagles beat the Packers, all right? And I'm going to get ahead of myself a little bit here, but forgive me, I got to go out and do this, all right? If the Eagles beat the Packers, this is why I think the Eagles are in a really, really good position, all right? We know the Eagles and Detroit can't meet until the championship game, okay? But who gives the Lions the best fight in the divisional round? That's got to be the question. Now, if the Rams win, okay, their game on Monday night, and we won't know this till Monday night, but if the Rams win, they automatically come to Philly. They're the 3 seed, all right? Assuming the Eagles win now. If Washington beats Tampa, they would head to Detroit automatically. We know that. Now, if Tampa wins, let's say, if Tampa wins and Minnesota wins, Tampa wins and Minnesota wins, then Minnesota heads to Detroit. Tampa heads to Philly. I would love nothing more than to play the stinking Tampa Bay Buccaneers in round 2. I would love to give them a beating, and I think we would. I do. I think we would definitely give them a beating. They're not playing us in Tampa. It's a different game now. But the way it looks and the way the playoffs kind of seem to fit, you're going to have Detroit playing a harder game in the divisional round than the Eagles. That's what it looks like to me. And if they play Minnesota in a divisional round, I'm not saying Minnesota can beat Detroit because I think you would see probably probably very similar thing happen to what happened to them yesterday versus Detroit. However, I look at all the teams besides the Eagles. The only team that I think can give Detroit any problems is Minnesota because they're in a division and they know them, and it's hard to beat a team 3 times. It just is. So that could be a good situation for the Eagles in which the Eagles could get home field in the NFC Championship game. If not, the Eagles, they get, the Rams, Buccaneers in the second round of the playoffs. That will be light work. And then it's going to end up being the Eagles-Detroit, which I've been saying all year. This is a collision course with the Detroit Lions. I still think that to be the case. So the Eagles are going to have to take care of business, obviously. You don't want to have happen what happened last year to the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys come in as a 2 seed, and they get destroyed by the Green Bay Packers. Packers, though, I will say, coming in to that playoff last year, if I remember correctly, they had gotten hot at the end of the year. They struggled early in the year. They kind of got hot at the end of the year. This is a little different. This, I think they're struggling going in to the playoffs. But this whole thing is going to be about Jalen Hurts. How healthy is he? Is he ready to go? When I look at the Eagles and I look at all the playoff teams, and I don't say this, I'm not being biased, although I love the Eagles and I'm a homer in that respect, but I really think this from the bottom of my heart. I think the Eagles are the best team, are most complete team heading into the playoffs. I think when you look at them offensively, I think when you look at them defensively, I think when you look at them with the amount of injuries that they have compared to some other teams, I think the Eagles are the most complete team in the NFL. I think their defense is better than Detroit. I think their offense and the team and the way that we play football is going to be, I think it's going to give Detroit problems. I do. But I really look at this. I think Detroit and the Eagles are the best 2 teams in football. That NFC Championship game may be harder than the Super Bowl. That's how I think about it. So I think we're in a good spot, great position. We're healthy. We just need to get confirmation of Hurts being back. But if you ask me, how worried am I about Hurts not being there for the game? Not worried at all. I just listen to Nick. They already know when he's coming back. They have an idea, and I bet you by Wednesday, I'll say, I bet you Jalen Hurts is back and he's ready to go. Me and DB Cooper both think so. And you can get a shirt like this, by the way. Link is in the description. I think we got buy Q, get free shipping, something like that, the deal. Check it out. But I think the Eagles are going to be just fine. I think Jalen Hurts is going to be just fine. And yeah, it's time to get ready for the Green Bay Packers. First round of the playoffs. Of course, we'll be streaming. Should be a lot of fun. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, of course. Don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision, baby. We're all just living in it. Okay, I just forgot. I wanted to let you guys know. I will be streaming every game this weekend. We will be streaming all the playoff games starting on Saturday and then into Sunday. Should be it's going to be a long day on Sunday, but it should be an interesting day nonetheless. We will be streaming. I hope you guys come through. We're gonna need a lot of people because we gotta get this team to the second round of the playoffs. I'm still kind of under the weather after streaming yesterday. Man, I feel like it's like 2 steps forward, 1 step back with this sickness, but it is what it is. I'll be ready to go this weekend. We'll be streaming the games. With that said, Denzel Washington out. That's all, folks.
The brother screwed us.